Hi guys, welcome to Lean and Green video part 1. Today I'm going to be making sauerkraut. Alrighty, so a look at the things you'll need. Firstly, you'll need some cabbage. I've used sweet cabbage, organic variety. I like this one because it's a little sweeter and softer, and the baby leaves make it a little squishier, which you'll see later on. So, but you can use any cabbage you want, so Chinese stuff. I don't even know what other cabbages there are, but just go and get some freaking cabbage. The other thing you'll need is a knife like this. This is from IKEA, so you can use a nice cheap knife, or you can go with something like Eli's, which is a lot nicer. You'll need a bowl. As you can see, there's some that I prepared earlier, which I'll be working with. And you'll also need some jars. So something that looks like that. It's an airlock jar that you can stuff the cabbage into once it's all chopped up. So the first step is to chop up the cabbage. So as you know, I've just started that, and I'm going to finish that other cabbage, and then I'll show you step 2. Instead of using a knife, if you have a food processor, you can also use that. So it's a lot quicker than doing it this way, but yeah, we're stinged out and haven't bothered to get a food processor yet, but we will get one in the future. So we can make a lot more kraut and do it a lot quicker. So with the chopping of the kraut, I like to take off the cheeks, just like this, and then just flip them on the side and cut across them. Should only take you a few minutes once you get used to chopping it like this. I don't tend to use all of the core of the cabbage because the core tends to be a lot tougher, which is this bit here. I do still eat it, but in the next part where we start to squish this up, it's a little harder to do, so I tend to just cut around the core and then use that for something else. So as you can see, this is the core that we're left with, and yeah, you can either throw that out or just tear those little bits off, and it's a little chef snack. Raw cabbage is probably a little better than raw broccoli, but definitely acquired as well. So, now take a look at what we've got. A big bowl, that's 2 cabbages in there. Now, next we need to add some salt to that. Salt in the form of sea salt flakes is good, but whatever you've got you can use. And really I just like to eyeball this, so be generous, but think of it as if you're salting 2 cabbages and how salty you like things. You can always add some salt later on. You'll have to check with Eli, but I think the reason you put the salt in is to kill any bad bacteria when it's fermenting. So once that goes in, we start the squishing. That's probably enough for now. Alrighty, so literally just with your hands, start to work into the cabbage. This really is a labour of love, guys. You'll fall in love with your kraut, the same way that Eli and I have. Once you start to get the hang of this, you're really going to enjoy it. So take your time with it. Usually for a bowl like this, to hand squish it, you're looking at about probably 10 minutes. So it's really good for your grip strength. So this is transferable to your pull-ups, your deadlifts, lat pull-downs, any type of pulling motion. This can be directly transferred to. So make sure you work it in nice and hard, and don't be afraid to really go for it, because you can't hurt the cabbage. You can only love it. So make sure you do that. Love your cabbage. Okay guys, we're at the wet stage now, so as you can see the cabbage is reduced, and I've been working it with my hands, just this kind of motion. And if you lift the cabbage, you'll now see that all the water is released out of it. And the water is the thing that makes the film over the top of the cabbage in the container that stops it from getting mouldy and going bad. So once the water is released, you've probably got another minute or so of just really working the cabbage like this and getting all that water out, and I'll show you how that comes into play in just a second. Right, next up we've got the bowls. No, that's the bowls. This is the container. So 2 cabbages should fill probably one of these. And as I'll show you, we just want to fill it to about a couple of centimeters underneath the rim, because this is where during the fermentation process it expands and gas comes out. And if you're unlucky like we have been, and particularly Nicole, who's she's in the bathroom at the moment doing her hair, we've had an explosion of sauerkraut juice all over the kitchen. I wasn't here, so I was, didn't really worry me, but you don't want to get caught out. So here we go. If you just start by stuffing some cabbage into the bowl, like so. Now what I'm going to do is just really ram it down like that. Now this is what makes it a pain in the ass to get out of the container when you want to eat it, but this is also what sends the liquid to the top. So get as much of it in there as you can, like so. Keep pushing and you'll start to see the liquid coming to the top. Well, I don't know, I don't even know if you can see this on the camera at the moment, so maybe you won't. You'll get shit everywhere, so as I have. So that's probably slightly overfilled, but I generally like to do things to excess, and if we have a little kitchen explosion, well, it's all in the name of good kraut. There we go. As you can see, there's a little bit of leftover fluid in there. I'm just going to pop that in the top there, like so, and with my trusty tongs, I'm going to dig out some of the cabbage, because I think Nicole might be able to overhear me here. I'm going to dig some of that out. Like so. See, that's it. Yep. Dig it out. I like to dig it. I like to treat the cabbage with respect and not overcrowd it. Dig it out. There we go. So now, this is the last stage. So, you can probably see the water level is here, and it's covering all the cabbage which has been stuffed in. Then we're just going to pop the lid on, sit it in a cool ish place out of direct sunlight outside the fridge for say 4 to 5 days. Then you'll be soured. You'll notice it bubbling and carrying on, but just don't worry about that. Just be careful when you open the lid, because it may shoot off and spray you in the face. So I'm sure you guys have had something like that before, but you don't want it with sauerkraut, put it that way. And I've got some leftover cabbage there, as you can see. That's tonight's dinner, and that's going to be going with 300 to 400 grams of chicken breast. So guys, this has been Green Lean TV, or whatever the fuck I called it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make some kraut and bring it over.